I think the greatest part you can say about a outstanding athlete is not only the legacy they were a player, but the legacy off the ice. Now, Jean Beliveau probably at one point was the most respected and honored athlete in Canadian history, and I've never heard one person ever say anything bad about the Gros Bill. When I met him in Hamilton in 1980, it was like God had arrived. And one person said there, which I tend to agree, I know there's a God because Jean Beliveau exists. Truer than hell. Combination Quebecer with Acadian ancestry, the best kind, I think. Or an Acadian with Quebec ancestry. He changed the way that people looked at the Montreal Canadiens because it went from Maurice Richard's kind of that aggressive, patriotic style to the clean refinement of the New York Yankees, the Dallas Cowboys. The only thing I can compare with for him would be Roger Staubach for the Dallas Cowboys. I'm wondering if he ever met, because you can say, oh, you're the guy that says I'm like you, and oh, you're the guy that says I'm like you. I think he would have a lot to talk about. Now, previous podcasts, we're talking about his playing career, but we're going to talk about his personal life and the machinations afterwards where the federal government also tried to make him Governor General of my fine nation of Canada. Now, on the personal life, he met his future wife, Elise Couture, in 1950 in Quebec City. She became an ambassador for the Habs as well, especially after his passing. The couple married on June 27th, 1953, at St. Patrick's Church there, and had one child together, the beautiful Helene. Now, Beliveau was sort of like a celebrity as well. He once appeared in full uniform on the American game show To Tell the Truth. Now, upon retiring as a player in 71, he started the very respected charitable foundation, the Jean Beliveau Foundation, transferred 2 decades later to the Society for Disabled Children in 1993. Now, in his efforts as an ambassador for the Montreal Canadiens, he went across this nation, left and right, promoting amateur hockey, professional hockey, youth hockey, ladies hockey, senior hockey, all different levels. He met I would figure he met probably 10 to 15% of Canadians during his travels. And I tell you why I think this. Let's say he met like 100,000 people a year. By the time he retired and the time he died, he must have met at least between 5 and 6 million people, at least. And each one he showed a great respect. Now, because of this, in the early 1990s, when Brian Mulroney's leadership of the PC was starting to fade, he was trying to ride on Belivau's coattails. Beliveau twice declined Mulroney's efforts to make him part of the Senate, as he believed legislators should only be elected. He was a big proponent of the electoral process. Now, in 1994, Prime Minister Jean Chrétien offered him the post of Governor General of Canada, which is the unofficial leader or the royal representative in our nation. Beliveau declined in order to be to his daughter and 2 grandchildren, Mylène and Magali, whose father, a Quebec policeman, had committed suicide when the girls were 5 and 3. So he chose family over a bigger role within Canadians. But when you're Jean Beliveau, you can make an impact no matter where you're part of. And he was dedicating to keeping his family as strong as possible. Now, starting in the 1990s, he started to fade health-wise and suffered from multiple health issues. Most of them occurred when he suffered major injuries that cut out some of his games during the regular season. Now, he was first hospitalized for cardiac problems in 1996, and in 2000 he was treated for a neck tumor. NHL.com reported on January 21st, 2010, that Beliveau was admitted to Montreal General Hospital the previous evening with apparent stroke that was not thought to be life-threatening. However, Beliveau was hospitalized with a stroke again on February 28, 2012. Now, the impact of these 2 strokes eventually led to the sad announcement on December 2nd, 2014, as he passed away at the age of 83 in Longueuil, which is a suburb of Montreal. His public funeral rivaled the funerals of major politicians and also Maurice Richard, and it was held at Mary Queen of the World Cathedral in Montreal. Now, Beliveau was given many awards post-retirement, including several honorary doctorates from Canadian universities, plus the Loyola Medal from Concordia University in 1995. He was made a Knight of the National Order of Quebec in 1988, promoted to officer in 2006, and Grand Officer in 2010. On May 6, 1998, Beliveau was made by Governor General Romeo blah 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 a Companion of our Order of Canada, then the country's highest civilian award. In 2001, his name was added to Canada's Walk of Fame, and in the same year was honoured with his portrait on the Canadian postage stamp, which is one of the most popular stamps in Canada Post history. Now, in 2008, continues, the Canadian Pacific Railway named a station in his honour. And in one of the most, it's very sad to say this, but, excuse me for a second. On June 29, 2009, he was named an honorary captain of the men's national team for the 2010 Winter Olympics. It's hard to get emotional. Now, on Friday, December 4, 2014, the Montreal Canadiens started sewing on a patch that had the number 4 in a black circle on the left side of the jersey. Sorry to get emotional, ladies and gentlemen, but when Jean Beliveau talked to me 40 years ago, he told me what he wanted to be. I said, I want to be like you. You know what he said? He said, be yourself. So, this podcast is being myself and explaining to the people who never heard of Jean Beliveau how much he meant to us. So, anyway, ladies and gentlemen, thanks for listening. If you don't mind an emotional journalist talking about Jean Beliveau, please give me a like, comment, or subscribe. The idea is we all have heroes, but he was a hero in so many ways to so many different people. You can't deny the fact if Jean Beliveau didn't exist, especially during our separation battle against the Parti Québécois and the separatists in Quebec, I think the Canadians that voted to stay in Quebec, they were saying, well, what does Jean Beliveau said? And Jean Beliveau said, you know, I'm a Canadian and a Montreal Canadian. So, anyway, thanks for listening. Bye.